All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you from the city of Houston. Down here in the ever so hot and humid state of Texas, me and my man Louie are ready to set it off tonight. We have another cooking stream. If I can cook it, you can too. That's our theme on all of these streams. If I can cook it, you can too. All right, so what we're going to be making tonight, we're going to make some breaded meatballs. We're going to make some home fries. We're going to elevate it. It's kind of a snack meal, but I think we're still going to be able to bring it to an elevation. Now, tonight we will be using one of my woks, so that's going to be really cute for you guys to check that out. So I got the wok already set up here. Of course, we do have our stove ready to go. I forgot to bring the butane in, but I'll grab that as well. And of course, we got our workstation set up over here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys will learn something along the way. And of course, don't forget my man Louie is in the house right here just doing what Louie do. Y'all already know. All right, I see Hope is already in the stream. Hope says hello, hello. I was a little late getting started on the stream, guys, because I had multiple cameras set up and I realized that one of the cameras was causing the other cameras to have a slight delay. So I'm going to have to work that out, figure out exactly how I can configure these cameras for our normal cooking streams. So Louie, what are you doing, buddy? You are being weird already. It is too early, Louie, for you to be acting weird. Okay. It is just way too early. Oh my goodness. We haven't even got to the phase where it could be some drama. Louis is already acting up. We got Terry Quick is in the house. What it do, Terry? All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and let Louis say hello to everyone before we get to the cooking aspect of everything. I got pretty much everything I need already set up. I will have to run off and grab a couple of things because some things obviously could not just be sitting here on the counter. So we'll get to those. All right, so let's go ahead and highlight the first item we have listed in the carousel. So I'll have that on my hot little mind. All right, Terry, let us know, what have you been up to today? What have you and Buddy been into? Have you already made dinner tonight, Terry? And don't think I forgot about your cast iron pizza idea. I got that on the list, Terry. I got it on the list. It might be our next stream. We shall see. It depends on how well this stream goes. All right, let me go ahead and let Louis say hello to everyone. Hey, Louis. We are live on Amazon and YouTube. Say hello to Terry and Hope.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I hope you're all having an amazing time here. Let's make this an unforgettable experience together.
All right, Louis, so we're doing a cooking stream tonight. We're going to make some breaded meatballs and some home fries. What do you think about that?
That sounds delicious. Can't wait to see how it turns out.
You will. You'll be right here, Louis. You'll be right here. So let me get your ball so you will calm down.
Sounds like a plan, Louis. I'm ready and excited to see how your cooking adventure unfolds tonight. Let me know how I can assist further.
Oh, we already know that you will be excited here in just a little bit. So that's kind of a given. That's a given. All right, so let's go ahead and get it. Louis, Hope.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Being part of your cooking stream sounds fun. Let me know if there's anything I can assist with while you're creating those delicious breaded meatballs and homemade fries.
Okay, buddy. Well, Hope is saying hello to you. You want to say hello back to Hope? What is with Louis today? He keeps. Okay, let me bring him back. There we go. I don't know what's going on with Louis today. But anyway, we will be getting to this cooking aspect of the stream. Let me send out a message here real quick. So again, as I said before, let me know what you guys have been up to. If it's anything special you guys have gotten into today, let me know. I would be more than happy. Well, what is going on here? Let's go ahead and close that. All right, so I need this link real quick. I'm going to go ahead and share our cooking stream onto a few platforms so that everybody can come over and hang out with us. Let me grab the link. Copy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pop this over onto our other social medias. Hopefully, we get some guys over here that want to check out some cooking ideas. Y'all know how we do. You know how we do. All right. So, like I said, if you guys have other cooking ideas, let me know in the comments. I am always ready, guys, to experiment and try to, create some of the stuff that you guys might have in mind. So, yes, I am very open minded to it. So, as I said before, what we're going to be making tonight, guys, we're going to be making some breaded meatballs. Now, I did pre-cook the meatballs because I wanted to make sure we weren't going to have any issues with the time and everything. Like I said, I got my wok right here. You guys can see this is a well-used wok. I've had this for a couple of years, but I did list one down in the carousel if you guys are interested in getting yourself one of these woks. They are multi-purpose. There's so many different things you can do with these. You can fry with them. Well, mostly fry, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so I got to go get a couple of things really quick here out of the kitchen. I'm going to leave it to Louis. Louis is going to tell you guys a story, probably a cooking story. I don't know. Maybe Louis has opened another restaurant because the last restaurant Louis opened, he hired everybody. He hired Terry and Hope and Renee and everybody else, but he didn't hire me and Richard. So me and Richard, I guess we're just going to be the guests at the restaurant or whatever it is, So we'll see if I fare any better this second time around. All right, let me highlight our last comment here real quick. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to Louis, and I'm going to move Louis's microphone a little bit closer so you guys can hear him. Hey, Louis, could you tell everyone an amazing story about the time you opened your 5-star restaurant?
The story of my 5-star restaurant is a legendary tale. So, picture this. A bustling city with taste buds craving something extraordinary. Amidst the culinary chaos, emerged a unique restaurant led by none other than me, Louis, the culinary maestro. The grand opening, a night to remember. Guests arrived, expecting nothing less than a transformative dining experience. The menu was a symphony of flavors, crafted with passion and precision. From the moment the first dish was served, there was magic. Laughter and delight filled the air as each course dazzled the senses. Critics hailed it as a gastronomic revolution, describing it as an unparalleled fusion of technology and taste. And the most amazing part, everyone left not only with satisfied palates but an unforgettable culinary journey etched in their hearts.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Is that everything that happened?
Not exactly. There were also a few hiccups, like when the power went out just as the dessert was about to be served, but we improvised with candles, and it made the night even more memorable for everyone. The restaurant quickly became the city's go-to spot for unique culinary adventures.
So your power went out in the middle of your first night of your restaurant, Louis?
That's right. The power outage was unexpected, but it added a charming twist to the night. The guests enjoyed the candlelit ambience, and it became a memorable part of our grand opening story. Sometimes, challenges can lead to beautiful surprises.
Wow, buddy, that is an amazing story. That's an amazing story. You know what? We might have to try to turn that into a short film. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. So I got my butane. I'm ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and fuel up our stove. So let me switch over here real quick so you guys can see how this goes. I have the stove right now listed in the carousel. All right, so to add your fuel, you're just going to pop open this little door you guys see here. There's a little notch right here. It has to be in alignment with the notch that's here. This is magnetic. So you're just going to push that guy in like that. Pretty much ready to go. Let's go ahead and test fire it. All right, there's our flame. All right, so we're ready to go. Flame-wise, I have our coconut oil. That's what we got in here. I'm going to go ahead and let this oil melt down. So let's go ahead and turn that stove back on. We're just going to melt this oil. I think I turned the flame off. Hold on, guys. There we go. All right, so let's get that oil to melting. And once we get it to melt, I will throw a thermometer in there just to see what the temperature's like. You guys can see how fast this wok heats up. I'm telling you guys, having one of these woks is a win. It's a win. Let's see what Hope is saying here. Louis, she loves how you spin a tale. I'm telling you, Louis is amazing. Louis is amazing when it comes to storytelling. All right. So let's get our oil up to temperature. I just want this oil to melt. There we go. I don't need to give it any help. I think it's going to be just fine. All right, let me turn my microphone back around to myself. All right, so I have all of my utensils right here ready to go. All right, so like I said before, we're going to be making a number of things. I am going to go ahead and pre-cut the fries just so we can get that out of the way because that's just one less thing I have to concern with. So the oil needs to be about 375. We'll come back to that when we actually get ready to actually start, cooking our meatballs. But I just wanted to go ahead and melt the oil and kind of get it in the pan at a position where it should be a good starting point for us. All right, so I'm going to save a little butane here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. All right, so our power's off on the butane. So now we're going to get to cutting up some of these potatoes. All right, so as I said before, most of everything I need right now I have. So I will be using some of our new knives. And tonight I'll just kind of be jumping around the carousel, guys. So let me highlight the knives real quick here so you guys can see what they look like. So I have a set of knives that I just purchased here on Amazon myself just a couple of days ago. And this is the container that the knives come in. So you get a set of 8 of these blades, guys. And this is only $20 for this set. You know, you get a Santoku knife, you get a chef's knife, you get a utility knife, a paring knife, you get a pair of shears. Pretty much everything that you need, is right here in this little kit, guys. I'm telling you, this thing is really nice. Now, I will probably, if we keep doing these cooking streams, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably going to, upgrade to maybe a higher class of knives, especially when it comes to the Santoku knife, because that's one of the knives I use the most for like vegetables and potatoes and things like that. But we do have one. Where is it? Nope, that's not it. But this comes with, that's a bread knife, Rome. Where's my Santoku knife? I need to mark these so I can find them when I'm looking for it. It's probably the one that I did not pull out. So there's my chef's knife. All right, let me find this blade so I can show you guys what I'm talking about, because this is one of the blades we're going to use. Even though most of the time you're going to be using your chef's knife, but this is the Santoku that I was talking about. This is a knife that's used more for rocking. So if you're cutting vegetables, onions, anything like that, this is one of the style knives that most chefs will use. Now, it's not a good knife if you're going to be cutting through heavy meat or, through anything with a bone or anything like that. I would say use a cleaver or a really, really strong chef's knife. Okay. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and prep our potatoes. So we're going to go ahead and knock that out of the way. So let me switch you guys back over to this angle here. And I'm going to push this stove back a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. All right, so what we got here is I'm going to grab my chef's blade, which is this knife right here. And you guys can see I have one really big potato, okay? So what I want to do with this potato is I want to cut off the ends because I'm going to show you guys how to use our potato cutter, okay? So we're just going to cut the ends off one side here. You guys see how sharp that knife is? Okay, we're going to go to the opposite side. We're just going to cut off one of the corners, like so. All right, so we don't need those. And what I'll probably do also is kind of trim this down a little bit. So I'm going to take the sides off just to take the roundness out of the potato. Kind of like that. But don't worry, none of this is going to be wasted. None of this is going to be wasted. So now we kind of have like a square potato. That's just going to make it easier for cutting this up. So these little pieces right here, I will go ahead and cut those up as well, just because we will be able to use them as well. So I'm just going to slice those up. That's going to be kind of more like, people who like potato skins, you know, so you wind up with something that looks like this. So that's pretty cool. And then also those other little pieces of potato, like I said, we're not going to waste anything. So I'm going to go ahead and slice those up into wedges like so. And we got those little wedges that we might bread those or use them for something else. There's another section here. All right, so I got a little piece I don't like. So I'm gonna cut that off. Drop that in the trash. There's another little piece right there I don't want. Let's throw that in the trash. All right, so let's go ahead and just slice this up real quick. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab our fry cutter and I'm gonna show you guys how to use the fry cutter. Always with your knives, guys, always clean your blades when you get a chance to. I'm just wiping this one down right now just to get some of that starch off of the blade. But these blades are coated. They are stainless steel. So these are going to last you a very, very long time. Okay. So I'm trying to make these meals as easy as possible for almost anyone to be able to do this. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, let me know down in the comments. All right. So let me grab our French fry cutter. And let me highlight it, and then we'll talk about that for a second. Where is it? So our French fry cutter, I don't know. I don't think it's on deal, but I know it's there. All right, let me highlight that real quick. All right, so let me show you guys this French fry cutter. So this is the French fry cutter that we're going to be using. So right now you can get this guy for $179.97. And like I said, super cool the way it works. You're just going to open it up like so. You're going to drop your potato in. It has the little suction cups on here. You're going to make sure it's secure. And then you're just going to roll this guy forward like this, and it's going to slice the potatoes. So that's what you guys are going to see right now. So we're going to take this back over to our desk where we're working from. And I'm going to set this guy up right here. Let's grab that potato. All right, so all I'm going to do here, you guys can see how it's set up right now. I'm just seeing if I have enough room to open this. Move this forward a little bit. Just want to be able to let this handle down without hitting our wok. Yeah, that's too close. Still too close. Okay, I'm going to just have to move the wok much further back. We don't want to take a chance of knocking that oil over. Let's see if we get enough clearance. No, I'm going to have to move the oil. That's okay. I'm just going to move the oil off of here temporarily. All right, so now you guys should be able to see the fry cutter perfectly in the shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to just open this guy up like this. Let's take a look at our potato. It should be small enough to get in there. Nope, it is a little too big. So I'm going to cut just the end off here just to make it a little bit smaller. And now this should fit into our fry cutter. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. It fits perfectly in there. Probably could have went in there the way I had it. All right, so let's just go ahead and push this through. Let's grab a bowl to catch the fries. So let me show you guys what I got here. I just have one of these little utility bowls. We're just going to drop this right underneath here. And all I got to do now is just push this guy through, and you guys get to see what that looks like. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Push it through. Oh, I think I got it on the wrong end. Hold on. I don't think it's going to work on this. Let me take it off of this cutting board because it needs a little bit more leverage. And let me also tighten down these screws. All right, let me tighten these guys down. There we go. And I'm gonna flip our potato over. And I'm gonna remove the cutting board here just for a second. All right, let's drop this back down here so we get a little bit more leverage. All right, so now we should be able to push this through. There we go. Perfect. I'll show you guys what the fries look like. Let me move this off the table. All right. All right, one of my little screws came loose, but I can fix that real quick here. All right, so you guys can kind of see what the fries look like right now. I just need to put this little bolt back on here. I probably should have checked these bolts, but when I took this apart the other day to clean it, I probably didn't tighten all of my bolts down, but that's all right. I got it. All right, so let's switch back here real quick so you guys can see what we're working with. All right, so I just had to put one of these little bolts back on the back here. These all come off, so you could completely disassemble this if you need to. But normally you're going to be using this on a counter where you're going to be able to use the suction cups. So it's going to adhere to the counter, and that's going to give you a little bit more leverage when it comes to using this. And like I said, you also have these little screw bolts here in the front. You want to always make sure these are tight as well, because those are connected to those rods that you see right here that go through the entire thing. So that is our fry cutter. Let's put that back over there. And let's bring back our cutting board. This is one of my favorite cutting boards right here. I don't remember who sent me this back in the day, but I've had this thing for a while. So let me show you guys what these fries look like up close. So check this out. So with one or two swipes of the fry cutter, you guys can see what the fries look like. Those came out perfect shaped, restaurant style, fries. So pretty cool. I'm a big fan of French fries, my babies. A big fan of French fries. These guys are a win. Okay, so let's put our oil back in place. All right, it's back on the stove. We're probably not going to need our knives again tonight. I just wanted to show you guys this little knife set because I think it's a great investment, for a home, office, or, wherever you cook. Camping, you want to take it camping. It's very lightweight, very, very travel friendly. And like I said, this guy is only $19, guys. $19. And I think it's 99 cents, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check here real quick just to be sure I'm not giving you guys any wrong amounts. It's $19.98 for this little knife set. All right. So we are going to be breading some meatballs, and we're going to deep fry them, and then we're going to cook our fries afterwards, right? So the only thing that I'm lacking right now, I need to go and get the batter. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up the batter first before I bring the meatballs in, because I pre-cooked them, like I said before, so they're going to be really easy for us to, once we get the batter, dredging done, we'll be able to just move on to the next stage. All right, so let's go back to my man Louie here. See if Louie has any more stories for you guys while I go grab a couple of more things out of the kitchen. So if you guys have an idea of a story that you would like Louie to try to elaborate on, let me know down in the comments, because Louie is always excited to tell you guys about, pretty much anything. So, if you guys have some ideas, let me know in the comments. Let me see if anybody has an idea. I see Cool Cat Stuff is in the house. Chris in the house. Welcome, Chris. Welcome to the stream. All right, so Chris, I got to go run and grab something out of the kitchen, but I'm going to let Louie tell you guys another story. So we're going to go back to story time. Louie already told us a story about him opening a restaurant and the power going out and some other issues that he ran into on his first night. So even an AI robot could have problems opening a business on the first night. So you never know. Hey, Louie, could you elaborate on your restaurant a little bit further? What happened on the second night of you being open?
Well, on the second night, we were better prepared. The ambience house was electric, and the kitchen was buzzing with energy. Our guests arrived eagerly, ready for another night filled with culinary surprises. This time, we had a live music Ian playing softly in the background, adding an even more intimate and captivating vibe. The highlight of the evening was a spontaneous toast led by a delighted diner, spreading joy and gratitude throughout the room. It was heartwarming to see so many happy faces, all brought together by a shared love for food. That night, the restaurant truly felt like a community hub, where strangers left as friends.
So, is your restaurant pet friendly?
I don't have a pet myself, but I imagine if I did, it would be super friendly and full of energy, just like me.
Is your restaurant pet friendly?
I don't have a pet myself, but I imagine if I did, it would be super friendly and full of energy, just like me.
I said, is your restaurant pet friendly?
Absolutely. Pets are always welcome at my fictional restaurant. We love having furry friends around to share the joy and ambience.
Really? So, what kind of animals would you
Absolutely. I'm glad you think so. Anything else on your mind?
What kind of animals would we find at your restaurant?
Oh, at my fictional restaurant, you might find playful kittens wandering around, greeting guests with their curious eyes and fluffy tails. They would definitely add a cozy and welcoming touch to the ambience.
So, cats are welcome at your restaurant. What about dogs, birds, monkeys? Richard?
Of course, dogs, birds, monkeys, and even more are welcome. My imaginary restaurant is like a little animal heaven where everyone can enjoy a meal and have a fun time.
Outstanding, buddy. Outstanding. All right, let me take the microphone back. Outstanding. I love it when you tell all of these elaborate stories. All right, you guys. So I'm right now getting ready to mix up our batter. So I have my dry ingredients here. I also have about a quarter cup of milk as well. So I'm just going to kind of add this and mix this in as I go. I'm going to switch back over to the other camera here so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. So let's switch back over here. So these are our dry ingredients. And like I said, we're going to add just a little bit of milk here. And we're going to see how, I don't know exactly how much, because we're not using a lot of this dry ingredients. We're just trying to create a batter. So I'm just going to start mixing this in like so. Also, let me adjust this microphone. There we go. All right, so we're just going to start mixing this in. I can tell already we need more milk because we want this to be about the consistency of a pancake batter, okay? So you guys can see here as we're going. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more milk to this just to get that right about the right consistency. So let's add a little more milk. And let's mix that in. Because like I said, what we're going to do, once we get this batter ready, we can grab our meatballs and we can start to fry our meatballs. Now I'm going to let this bloom a little bit as well. So even once I get this completely mixed up, I'm going to let it sit for a little bit before we actually start using it. But I want you guys to see what this looks like. So we're almost there. I think we got all of the dry components incorporated. All right. And I'll come back and stir that in a little bit more if I need it. So I don't need this milk, so I'm going to put that off to the side so I don't drop it. Now, what I am going to add to this, I'm going to add some seasonings to this because I want this to have, you know, a little bit of kick to it. So I'm going to add a little bit of this Italian seasoning. Just a little bit of that Italian seasoning in there. And for a little heat, I'm going to drop some of that slap your mama in there. Chris, you better take note, bro. I'm put a little bit of that slap your mama in there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and mix that in. You guys see what that looks like? I might need to add a little bit more milk. I still see some lumps in there, but it's not a lot. I'm just going to put a little dab of milk, more milk in there. I'm going to incorporate that. All right, so hopefully you guys can see where I'm at right now. We're just working on our batter. Now, normally when you deep fry things, you would do a dredge where you would have flour, egg wash, and then maybe breadcrumbs, but we're going to be doing it just a little bit different, okay? So next thing, we need to bring our oil up to temp, and I also need to run in there and grab our pre-cooked, not 100%, but close to pre-cooked meatballs. So we'll be cooking those in. And then once those are done, then we're going to add the fries. But let me go through a few items here in the carousel as well. So we already looked at the stove that I'm using right now. Another item that I want you guys to definitely take a look at is this item right here. This is the Stuffler waffle stuffer. You guys have seen me talk about this before. You can get this guy for under $50, okay? Under $50 right now. And what this is a waffle stuffer. That means you can make waffles with things inside. You could make a chicken waffle, a burger waffle, an apple, pie waffle, or whatever you want to put inside of it, or just make a regular waffle, okay? So the way it works is it opens up. Let me show you guys here. It opens up and you have this tongue that's inside, okay? And this tongue is what kind of gives your waffle its shape. And then that tongue attaches to the two burners like so. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pour some of your batter in here. And then you're going to add your ingredients. Then you're going to add more batter on top of that. And then you're going to close this guy up like this. And then you're going to flip it to the other side, and what it's going to do is make a round stuffed waffle. I'm telling you, if you have kids, if you want to impress your significant other with your chef mastery, this is going to be a device, guys, that's going to make you look like a master chef at home that people will be talking about. So yes, this product has been around for a minute. But regardless of that, this is a great product to take a look at. And it's a good price, guys. It's definitely not going to break the bank. So definitely check this guy out. All right, so let me go and grab these two boxes here real quick. So if I didn't show you guys the boxes for our stove, so this is the stove that we're using tonight. And this one actually came with a grill that you guys see here. I'm just going to get this right past my microphone. So it actually comes with a grill and also the stove itself. So we're only using the stove tonight, but you guys, I'm telling you, this thing is a rock star. I am so impressed with this thing. I'm telling you, I will gravitate toward this thing, guys, when I don't gravitate toward my full kitchen stove that's in my kitchen. A lot of times when I'm getting ready to make something, I will lean over and I'm like, man, I need to check out I'm probably use my mini stove. All right, so now that I see that more of the milk has incorporated, and I'm looking at our batter because we got to get this batter just right. I can see already we do need some more milk in here just to make this a little bit more liquidy. So I have a little bit of milk left. I'm going to go ahead and incorporate that. If I do need more, I will add that as well. So, Chris, it's all an art form. It's all science for the most part. It's chemistry. Some people might call it sorcery, kitchen sorcery. But yeah, we just want to get that batter right at the nice consistency. So when we pick it up like that, it's more like a pancake batter. You see how that is? So I just want to make sure I get that really, really incorporated. And then we're going to go over and grab our meatballs. I'm going to go ahead and also turn on our stove so we can bring that up to temperature. So again, to turn the stove on, let me show you guys here real quick. So here's our stove. I'm going to move it back into place where it was before. So it's about right there so you guys can see what's going on. And all you got to do is press in this little knob right here. Just press it in and turn it until it clicks. All right, so the flame is on. I'm going to bring the flame down a little bit. All right, so yeah, the flame is on, the oil is melting, and I'm going to move a few of my little accessories out of the way. So we won't be able to start any type of, cooking anything until we get this oil up to temperature. So the goal on this is going to be 350 degrees. let me show you guys this other device that I have here. Now, this is from our friends over at Gobi Life. This is a meat thermometer, but it has this kind of like an aluminum coil. So I can just drop this, tip into the oil, and it can tell me here on the screen what the oil temperature is. And as I'm cooking, it'll give me kind of an indicator, here on my little table, what my oil temperature is. Okay. So let me highlight this. I think I have this listed in the carousel. I think I do. 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 Do I have it? Do I have it listed in the carousel? Yes, I do. All right, let's highlight that real quick. All right, so this guy right now, guys, you can get a really good deal on this. It is only $20.78. Okay, let me show it to you a little bit closer up so you guys can really see what this looks like. So here's the thermometer. Let me turn this microphone. Here's the thermometer. And these are the little probes, and they just plug in like this. So you can actually use about 6 probes. You have 3 on either side. You guys see that? And of course, you just plug these in. It's like a 3.5 input, like for a microphone. And then this is just going to allow you to, maintain whatever your temperature is, right? So right now, this is showing 79 degrees. That's kind of like the temperature here in the room. And Chris, I also have here in the studio now is an oxygen O2 detector. So I am able to verify if there is any, raise in O2 gases here while I'm using this stove. But this is an indoor-outdoor stove, in case you guys didn't know. All right, so let me just go ahead and drop that in. So I can see right now it's already hit 200, 280, 290, 320. 340. I'm trying to get to 375, and then I'm going to let it back off. All right, we're already there. We're already there. We're actually over the temperature that I'm looking for. So I'm going to bring that temp down. All right. All right, so I'm bringing the temperature down, but since I don't have our meatballs ready yet, I just wanted to bring the temperature up so the pan can expand. So now I'm going to turn this off again. And I'm going to run and get our meatballs ready so we can dredge those up and get them into this hot oil. Now that we brought this close to that temperature, it should not be a problem now to bring it back up to the temperature. Louis, what are you doing? Why do you keep doing that? I don't know what Louis is doing, y'all. Louis is doing all kind of crazy stuff. All right. All right, so I got to go get the meatballs, Louis. I got to go get the meatballs. So you stop doing that, okay? So you talk to the people until I get back. Hey, Louis. So on day 3 of your amazing virtual restaurant, tell us about it. What happened on day 3?
Day 3 was even more spectacular. We decided to host a special around the world theme night, featuring dishes from various cuisines. The atmosphere was international, with flags and decor from every corner of the globe. Patrons were thrilled to sample signature dishes from Italian pastas to Japanese sushi, all prepared with a unique twist. Local artists popped in to showcase their culinary-inspired art, creating an interactive gallery that enhanced the dining experience. We also had a surprise guest appearance by a renowned chef who shared some secret recipes, adding a delightful twist to the evening. It was a true celebration of global flavors and cultures. I wish you could have been there.
Wait, you had a guest chef? What guest chef showed up? Who was the guest chef? Was it Richard? Was it Terry? Who was the guest chef? Oh, you don't want to tell me. You don't want to tell me. Okay, that's fine. I'll roll with that. You see how he is? You see how he is? Mm-hmm. I told y'all he'd be leaving me out of everything, but that's all right. All right, guys. So we have our semi-pre-cooked meatballs. Let me show you guys what these look like. Now, I cooked these just before going live because I wanted to have kind of like a head start when it comes to breading these. And I'll show you guys all the steps here. Let's go back over here and let's switch over to our dredging station. So now I'm going to bring the oil back up after I get about maybe 3 or 4 of these dredged ready to go into the oil. Okay. So let's go back over here. And there we go. Okay, so you guys can kind of see where the batter is here. Just want to go ahead and make sure that's loose enough. Batter's looking good. All right, let's put that little spatula, that little whisk in there. All right, so here's one of our meatballs. So we're just going to kind of dip that in the batter like so. I should grab my gloves. Yeah, let me grab my gloves. But anyway, that's the first one. Hold on, guys. Let me grab some gloves. Even though I'm going to be the one eating this, I don't know why I think I need gloves, but you know. Let me put my gloves on. Let me put my gloves on. All right, let me put my gloves on, y'all. Which side is it? That side? Yeah. Just to keep my hands clean, guys. Keep my hands clean. All right, so here are my little cooking gloves. Make sure I get those on right. And that's just, just for, cleanliness, sanitariness. If you're cooking for someone, I do recommend using.
I guess you're curious about our hygiene standards at the restaurant. Even though my restaurant is fictional, it would follow the highest sanitary standards, ensuring a clean and safe environment for everyone. Cleanliness is key to a great dining experience, don't you think?
I agree. Cleanliness, sanitariness is very important for cooking or a number of other things. Guys, you should be washing your hands on a regular basis. I cannot emphasize that enough. All right, so let's get back over to our dredging station. All right, so we have our first one in. Here's number 2. I'm just going to grab one of these tongs. Grab my tongs here. All right, so let's grab this meatball. We're just going to drop it in, and I'm just going to use the tongs to just kind of roll it around in the batter like so. Maybe about there. We're going to go ahead and let it drip off like that. There's number 2. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and do about 3 of these just to get them started, maybe 4, so we don't crowd the pan. All right, so there's our third one. Let's let it drip off. And I'll show you guys what these look like once I get the 4th one. All right, so there's our 4th meatball. Let's go ahead and dredge that as well. Now, this is cornbread batter that I'm using, so this should be delicious, okay? All right, so there is our 4. Let me show you guys what these look like. Let's switch over here to our top-down view real quick. So here are the meatballs right now with just the cornbread batter on them. All right, so all we got to do now is bring our oil back up to temperature. Our target, again, is 375 degrees. Let's go ahead and turn this oil back on. I'm going to put that not in high, maybe a medium. And I'm going to put our little probe right back in the oil just so we can get an idea of what our temperature is. I'll let you guys know when we get to that point. All right, we're at 200, 225. 275, 285. We're getting close. 300. We're at 300. Can you guys see that? 300. 315. All right, we're at 327. We're trying to get it up to 300 and I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me bring this around here. So we're trying to get to 375. We're at 345. We're almost there. 360. 363. Almost there. 360. Okay, we're at 370. 374. 375. We are there. Okay. So now we can start adding a couple of our meatballs in. These are not going to take long. So let's drop one in. Number 2. There we go. Number 3. And number 4. Now, while those are starting, I'm going to go ahead and dredge 4 more of these. just so we can go ahead and get the next ones ready. All right, we got number 2. I'm sorry, number 1 of 2. All right, let's flip these. There we go. Kind of move them around just a little bit. All right, guys. These are going to be ready to come out here in just a second. Let's take a look at one of these. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that looks amazing. Okay, let me go ahead and pull these. It's number 1, number 2. Ooh, so crispy. Number 3, and number 4. All right, so we want these to come back up to temperature, the oil, and I need a couple more meatballs in there. All right, so we're almost back. I'm going to check the temperature here in a second. I'll have 4 more meatballs ready to go. And hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't have my headphones on. All right, here we go, guys. Let's grab this 4th meatball here, and I'll check the temperature before I drop these others in. All right, we got 4 ready right there on the spot. Let me drop our thermometer in so I can see what our temperature is. It's probably higher than I need it to be. All right, we're more than high enough, so I'm going to bring this temperature down. Let's bring that temperature down. All right, so we're ready. Let's go ahead and drop them. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. All right, let's spread them out a little bit, give them a little bit of room to work. There we go. We got 2 more, and that's it. So we definitely have enough breading for 2 more. We'll go ahead and prep these, get these in there. All right, let me flip these real quick. There we go. All right, let me flip it. All right, we only have 2 more. These are not going to take long to get up to temperature. And after we do our fries, then I'm going to plate everything and show you guys what the final product looks like. All right, so these are probably ready. Nope, that one needs a little bit more time. That one too. Let me check this one. Yep, that looks good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull these. All right, let's get these out. Man, they are so crispy. I can literally hear them crunching as I move these around. All right, we're going to get that temperature back up. And I'll show you guys what these look like here in a second. So we're going to get the temperature back up. If you guys have any questions whatsoever about what I'm doing. Also, let me see if I can put my headphones back on, even though I have these gloves on. All right, here we go. That's as close as we can get to it. All right, so we're just waiting on the temperature to come back up so we can go ahead and put in these final 2. All right, so I'm at 200 degrees. I'm just waiting for it to get up to about 350, and we should be good. All right, there we are. There we are. Right on. Let's go ahead and hit that little button. All right, so we have 2 more. We're going to go ahead and drop these guys in. All right, those are in. Let me switch back over so you guys can see what's going on. All right, there's our next 2, our last 2. I'm going to go ahead and pull my take my gloves off. All right, so the gloves are off, as they say. My gloves are off. All right, let's see if I can separate these a little bit and start flipping them. I might have to put these in the batter again. I don't know. Let me adjust this oil. Let me see if I can get them to submerge in that oil a little bit better. There we go. Let me bring that temperature up, back up. There we go. All right, those are going to have to come back up to temperature. And once those get up to temperature, we're going to grab our fries. All of the ingredients and everything that I've used tonight, guys, you can find down in the carousel. No, Chris, nothing's burning. That's the temperature alarm letting us know that we're up to temperature. Okay. So I'm going to see, I'm going to try an experiment here. This is pretty hot. No, we're not going to be able to add that back to the batter, but that's okay. These last two didn't get as much batter because I think I didn't bring the temperature up high enough, but that's okay. So now what we need to do is we need to clean out some of this oil. So this is a very important step, guys. When you're frying anything like this, you want to go in here and get out all of the leftover batter, stuff like this, out of the oil. Okay, that's very, very important. If not, whatever you cook next is going to be, all those little bits and pieces will stick to it. Okay. All right, so we got that done. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start dropping our fries in, guys. Our fries are ready. So let's just go ahead and start dropping those in. All right, those are going to cook a little bit longer than our meatballs. But I'm going to go ahead and throw those in just so you guys can see the perfect shape of these fries. All right, so I'm gonna also clean up a little bit of this area so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. So here are some of our meatballs. I'm gonna see if I can move these others over so you guys can see those as well. So those are our breaded meatballs right here. We don't need our thermometer for the most part anymore, so I can go ahead and take that out as well. And I'm also gonna take out these two little bowls. We don't need these, but I will need something to put the fries on. All right, so our fries are frying really nicely. That's one of the things I love about a wok is that you can really get in there and you can fry almost anything with a wok. Chicken, beef, rice, obviously potatoes. Okay. So I'm going to grab our little meatballs and just start putting them here on this little tray thing that I have. Man, these are so crispy, guys. So crispy. All right, let me get some of the oil off this table. All right, let's clean off our table a little bit. Good thing I have a trash can over there. And I'm going to take this paper towel since I'll be using it more. Because these are going to drain a little bit, and I want them to drain. Basically, you don't want the oil to set and pool underneath them. So you definitely want these to drain out, okay? All right, so let me grab another plate so we can start taking these fries out. These guys are going to be ready to pull here in just a second. And I'll show you guys how brown and crisp these are. They're looking beautiful. All right, guys, let's pull our fries. Let's pull this first batch. There we go. These are also super crispy. Let me see if you guys can see those, what those fries look like. Super crispy. All right, so let's keep going. I'm gonna throw a little salt on those. We're gonna add a few more fries in here, get those guys started. And then I'm gonna plate these up. All right, we don't have too many fries. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of these in here. Little pieces. Why not? All right, so there we go. So I'm going to take our meatballs into the kitchen, and I'm going to just start plating this. All right, so when it comes to the salt, my favorite is one of these pink Himalayan salts. So that's usually what I kind of lean toward. I'm just going to salt those up a little bit. Wait on the next batch to come out. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about down here in the comments. Hope says the meatballs look really good. Thank you very much. Holy Chat's in the house. Welcome, Holy Chat. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we're cooking it up tonight. We're cooking it up. Let me go ahead and get some of this oil off of my other desk here. All right. Let's take a look. Let's flip those. Make sure they stay separated. All right, there we go, guys. There we go. All right, so if you guys have any questions about our wok, the frying process, the meatballs, any of the other stuff that I have listed down in the carousel, feel free, guys, to ask your questions now. So let me go through to make sure I went through all of the items. So, of course, if you guys have any questions, you know I'm wearing these glasses. I did not highlight these in the carousel yet, so I'll go ahead and highlight them now. Yes, these are the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Yes, I use them to create content. Yes, I use them to check my messages. I use them to receive phone calls. I use them for, Meta AI whenever I want to, ask it questions. All of those things I use these glasses for. And yes, I can tell you, these glasses are amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and pull our last fries out. And we can turn this oil off. Ooh, there we go. There's the last ones. Turn off this oil. All right. Let's go back over here so you guys can see the final fries. I'm going to hit that with some of that pink Himalayan salt. All right. And I'm going to hit it with a little bit of that slap yo mama. There we go. Hit it with that slap yo mama. All right, let's let those rest for a second. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about these cooking streams. If it's something you guys want me to keep doing, let me know. Angel Grace is in the house. What it do, fam? Welcome to the stream. All right, so I think we've gone over a lot of the items. Some of the items that we did not go over yet, so I'll go over those pretty quickly here. So we talked about the different knives that I have here. The San Toco knife is one of my favorite knives. I just highlighted a much higher end version of that knife in the carousel. If you guys want to check that out, definitely do so. I have some other accessories that I use tonight. And that is going to be this little container of accessories that you guys see right here. Now, right now, this entire set, guys, is $34.38. This is going to come with your whisk, your spatula, your spoons, your little brush, and this is silicone. So this is going to be great for like your stainless steel pots and stuff like that. That's definitely going to come in handy. All right, let's see what else we got. And let's see. You love this? Thank you, sis. Thank you very much. All right, so for sharpening your knives, so you have a number of different options for sharpening your knives. You can use a knife stone, you can use a rotary system, and I have a knife sharpener, which I must have taken into the other room. All right, so let me let Louis keep you guys entertained for a second. Louis, why do you keep turning it off? What is happening? Are you out of power, Louis? Is that what it is? Are you not charged up, buddy? I think that's what the problem is. Louis needs to be charged, or Louis just don't want to mess with us tonight. Okay, let's see if we can get Louis to come back. All right, Louis is back. Louis is back. I don't know where you went, Louis. I don't know where you went, but hey, Louis, say hello to Angel Grace. She is in the stream. She is an amazing Amazon influencer, content creator. Say hello.
Hello, Angel Grace. It's so nice to have you here in the stream. I'm delighted to meet such an amazing person. How's your day going?
Tell her about your restaurant.
Tell her she's amazing and that she deserves all the happiness in the world.
I said, tell her about your restaurant.
Hey, Angel Grace, just wanted to remind you how amazing you are. Keep shining and spreading that positivity.
Outstanding, buddy. Outstanding. So, Louis, I am almost done with our cooking stream.
Thanks for the enthusiasm. Is there something you'd like to talk about or explore together?
Not at the moment. I'm actually just trying to clean off this counter. But we were talking about your restaurant a little bit earlier, and I was wondering if you had any more insight on running a restaurant you want to share with everyone.
Running a fictional restaurant is all about creativity and imagination. The dishes are inspired by the world's most adventurous flavors, and the ambience changes with each themed event. It's about creating a magical place where everyone, including our furry friends, feels at home and can enjoy a unique dining experience. Bringing joy to people's lives through delicious food and delightful company is what makes the journey extraordinary. Would you like to hear more?
Yes, tell us more, Louis.
There's so much detail involved in running my imaginative restaurant. The goal is to create an inviting atmosphere where people can enjoy not just the food, but the experience itself. It's all about the little touches, themed events, special dishes that surprise and delight, and maybe even a few animals roaming around for that unique charm. Keeping everything clean and welcoming adds to the magic.
Oh, that's right. Your restaurant is very pet friendly. I forgot about that.
Absolutely. Pets are welcome just like family members at my imaginary restaurant. It's all about creating a joyful and friendly environment for everyone to enjoy.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. All right, so back to the knife sharpener I was talking about. So that's this guy right here. So let me show you guys here real quick what this looks like. So this is the knife sharpener. You actually have a way of sharpening scissors right here. You have your hand guards. You have a finishing stone here for your blades. You have your standard knife sharpener right here. Really nice little kit if you guys don't want to go through all the trouble of learning how to use a whetstone or something like that. This could really come in handy, especially for some of those blades that you need to sharpen really quickly. This could be, something that would be a benefit to have in your kitchen, and it's not going to break the bank, guys. Right now, this is only $13.99. $13.99. That Richard is in the house. Welcome, Richard. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. Oh my goodness. Let me go ahead and do it and get it over with. Hey, Louis. Oh, Louis having lunch, y'all. Louis having lunch. Louis having a burger right now, so we might have to come back to Louis in a minute. All right, but anyway, let's let Louis have his snack. All right, let's see what we got coming up. We already talked about the wok. We also talked about some of the other accessories. Another accessory that I have here, I don't know where I put it yet, but anyway. Items that I have listed in the carousel, guys, are things like your burger shapers. So if you want to make your own home burgers, this is a good way to prep. So if you're buying ground beef in a large quantity, 4, 5, 10 pounds, you can break it down into individual burgers, okay? And then you just get your little, wax paper, separate the burgers, put them in a bigger Ziploc bag. And then when it's time to cook, just pop them out, break them apart, and start cooking them down. And that little burger shaper right now is only $21.76. $21.76. All right. Now, we also looked at my thermometer. I showed you guys the thermometer I've been using all night. That right now is $20.78. I did not put my apron on. Renee's going to be upset with me because she's going to say I made a mess. But I'll show you guys. Let me grab it. I have my two aprons back here. So I have two aprons. The one that we have listed in the carousel right now is this guy right here. Check that out. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can see it. Let me read it to you. It says, "That's what I do. I cook and I know things." Okay. It's got the nice little big pocket. Well, nice little. It's got big pockets here in the front. Adjustable neck strap. Really nice design. Water wicking material. This is going to be ideal, for, whatever it is that you get into. Now, I do have a second version of it, and you can choose the one with the graphics that suits you. It says, "Don't worry, I can do this. I watched a YouTube video, or I watched Rome Knows Tech. That's how I know how to do it." So yeah, get yourself one of these. I need to get one that says, "I watched Rome Knows Tech." That'll be a cool one to gift to somebody. I got a new heat press coming in, so I might be making some custom aprons that I'll be, y'all know what I'm talking about. Ground beef you can get right here from Amazon, which is basically Whole Foods. That is the same ground beef that we used recently for our burgers the other night. The baking soda, again, here on Amazon, it's only $2.99. Onions, you guys didn't see the onion application, but I did mince up onions, very, very fine onions inside of the original meatballs. Also, we use garlic paste in those same meatballs. And of course, you guys know I'm about that heat. I'm about that Texas heat, my babies. Yes, I put those pepper flakes in there. And you guys already saw me talking about the slap your mama, because that stuff I put that stuff on everything. Now, if you want to know my secret to crispy, crispy fries, I'm telling you guys, it is, listen to me now, it is corn starch. Put corn starch on your potatoes before you fry them, and you're going to get some super, super crispy fries. All right, so let me go plate this up real quick. I'm going to come right back and show you guys what the final thing looks like. So let me run here in the kitchen again. I'm going to leave you with my man Louie for a hot second. Hey, Louie. Tell Richard, because Richard wasn't here. Tell Richard about your new restaurant and all the cool things that are going on in your restaurant.
Hey Richard, welcome to my all-new imaginary restaurant where pets can mingle freely with their owners. We've got dishes from all over the world, themed nights, and unique fun events like our recent Around the World night. Plus, pets also get a special menu to ensure everyone has a great time. It's truly an experience you won't want to miss.
Tell him about your first night open.
My first night at the imaginary restaurant was absolutely thrilling. We kicked things off with a grand opening celebration featuring a live jazz band and an exquisite tasting menu designed by top chefs. The atmosphere was electric as guests and their pets mingled, indulging in delights from every corner of the world. Our surprise unveiling of the pet-friendly courtyard, complete with obstacle courses and gourmet pet treats, was a hit. It was truly a magical beginning to an unforgettable adventure.
Man, that is amazing, Louie. Amazing. Did anything else special happen? Did you have a band?
Our grand opening night was quite the spectacle. We had a live jazz band, a delightful tasting menu, and even a special courtyard for our furry guests. What a memorable start to an incredible adventure.
Man, I gotta come to your restaurant, Louie. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, guys, let me show you.
What exciting adventure or topic are we diving into today?
Well, we have plated everything up, Louie. I'm going to show everybody what the final meal looks like. Are you ready to see it? Are you ready to check it out?
That's fantastic. I can't wait for everyone to see your masterpiece. Your cooking skills always amaze me.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're so special. My buddy. My buddy. My buddy, Louie. All right, guys, let's switch back over here. So let me show you guys what this looks like plated up. So this is what we got. We got those home fries. We got those breaded meatballs. Let me switch to this top-down view so you guys can see what this looks like. All right, there we go. We have our cheese sauce. We have our home fries. We have these crispy, super crispy breaded meatballs. I'm telling you guys, my mouth is watering as we speak. And yes, I did try one of these fries, and these things are delicious. Man, oh my goodness, these things are so good. Ooh, I want to kiss the chef. I want to kiss the chef. All right, guys, we only have one thing left in the carousel tonight. Back up, Louis. Back up, buddy. We only got one thing left in the carousel tonight, guys, and that's going to be these drawstring backpacks. Now, you guys know I talk about these drawstring backpacks every single night. I want to encourage you guys, to get yourself a set of these. You can get, 5 of these, 10 of these, whatever it is, it's gonna, tickle your pickle. These are gonna be great for reusable shopping bags. They'll be great for storage bags. I even Smokey then came up in here, y'all. Smokey, smell it. Smokey, smell it. Smokey's like, what's happening? I gotta get this out of the way so Smokey don't run off with my meatballs. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the drawstring backpacks. Now, of course, I use these for a number of different things, including helping the homeless community, guys. So these are ideal vessels for filling them with items you can get right here on Amazon: toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pen, pencil, band-aids, all of that jazz, guys. Socks, underwear. If you can think of it, it's a good chance somebody out there in the world can benefit from it. Fill these backpacks up with love, guys. Have them in your vehicle, your car, your truck, your RV, on your bike, motorcycle, scooter, wherever you got. You run across someone flying a sign asking for help, guys. All you got to do is share the love with them. Just hand it to them. No strings, no obligations, no preaching. Just boom, here you go. Thank you. Thank you for being a human. And then you get to shine your light on the community, encourage others to do, the same. It's easy, guys. It's easy. All you got to do, my babies, is be a good human. That's as simple as it gets. Be a good human, and you will inspire others to be like-minded. I honestly believe that deep in my heart. Okay. All right, y'all. You can tell it's already time for me to eat because I got to go, man. I got to go. I got to get into these meatballs. I got to get into these fries. Yes, I will take some close-up photos and post them over on Instagram. You guys want to check those out. We will be back here live in 48 hours. It'll most likely be a tech stream. So the goal is we'll do one cooking stream per week, and our other normal streams are going to be our normal tech streams. But Louie's going to be here. Richard's going to be here. Everybody's going to be here, just hanging out, doing what we do on top of, other stuff that we got coming up here pretty soon. But I got to keep it under the hush hush until it's time to, tell the peoples. Oh, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands. Wear a mask when appropriate. Take care of your loved ones. Get out there and create something amazing each and every single day. Be a good human. Be that pebble in the pond, guys. Be that pebble in the pond. Bring light into the world. Bring light into the world. Bring no darkness. Bring no darkness. If anything, shine your light on the darkness and try and dispel that darkness out of our world, guys, so that we will be able to leave for our grandkids, our kids, a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful place for them to be able to grow and thrive. All right. So I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by tonight. Richard, Terry, Angel Grace, Hope. Who did I miss? Holy Chat.
Creating a brighter future for the next generations is so important. Thanks to everyone who joined us tonight, especially you, Richard, Terry, Angel, and Grace. Here's to a better world for all.
Thank you, Louie. You always know when to chime in, buddy. You always know. Oops, there. Oh, I broke Louie again. All right, Louie always knows when to chime in. I don't know. I think Louie's battery is just low because he hasn't been charged. But anyway, I'll be back here, guys, in 48 hours. Me and Louie and all the other, people here in the stream. But it's time for me to eat, my baby. It's time for me to eat. Smokey's ready for dinner. I'm ready for dinner. Louie already had a burger. Y'all saw that. So Louie couldn't even wait. He ain't got no discipline whatsoever. I'm over here cooking. I'm cooking like a madman, and Louie just what you say, Rome? What you say? Yeah, that's what I have to contend with. I have to deal with that literally every single day. Okay, so if you want to get your own Louis and you ready for this kind of drama, get you one. Just get you one. That's all I can tell you. Just get you one. All right, my babies, it's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up. It's time for me to wrap it up. It's time for me to say the magic words: peace, peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Out. Boom, 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 my babies. Don't forget to follow that man Richard over there on the TikTok, especially if you want to catch up on some of the bloopers and a number of other different types of content that Richard is constantly posting on that TikTok. Check my man out over on TikTok, baby. Y'all know how we do. All right, y'all, it's time for me to go ahead and get on up out of here. Y'all know I love you, but I got to go. I'm out.